Turns out that by pure coincidence, one of the predictions I made in my last video, actually 2 videos ago, was very similar to something that was in the leaked plot. Let's get one thing out of the way, alright? I have not read the leaked plot, even if it has been proven to be fake. Because it makes no sense, in my personal opinion, to make predictions after reading that. For me, at least, it influences my ideas way too much. So that's why I try to stay away from them. This is exactly why every time I make a prediction, I explain my thought process behind it, so that you can see how I came up with it. You will never see me pull anything out of my ass. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Let's do this. You're now watching Because Geek. Game of Thrones Season 8 predictions. Let's start with Cersei. I did hear about that deleted scene that was supposed to be in the finale, where she would be lying in a pool of blood, meaning that she had a miscarriage. This is not surprising because we all know, thanks to the Maggie the Frog prophecy, that Cersei would have no more than 3 children. So most of us are not expecting this new baby to live, even if things don't happen exactly like that deleted scene. So I will be sticking to this in my predictions as well. Cersei won't give her baby to the Night King, like I suggested at some point a long time ago, because there will just be no baby to give. I like the idea that the reason why Euron is still loyal to Cersei, even after seeing all that Daenerys can do and meeting her in person, is because Cersei told him that the baby she's expecting is his, even if it truly is Jaime's. It just sounds like something Cersei would do to keep Euron loyal to her. But if that was her plan, if that happened at all, everything would fall apart after that miscarriage. One way or another, the general consensus is that Euron will turn his back on Cersei at some point, and it makes sense. We know that Euron wants to be king and have full power, and Cersei wants to be queen and have full power. Neither of them want to be the second in command, so there's just no way for that relationship to work or last. A lot of people have also been thinking that Euron will take the role of Owain Waters from the books, the bastard that Cersei decided to name Master of Ships when Tommen was king. She also gave him funding to build a new fleet. Owain Waters then took this fleet and fled King's Landing with it. So it is entirely possible that this is what Euron does with his fleet in the show, which Cersei still thinks belongs to her.
My armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy's armada owns the Narrow Sea.
Euron Greyjoy is loyal to me.
For now.
Right now, Euron is supposed to be bringing back the Golden Company from Essos for Cersei, but he could decide to take his fleet somewhere else. There are 2 reasons why I doubt this though. First, we know that Tycho Nestoris will be back in Season 8, for at least 2 more scenes. And since he's probably going to be in Essos, we need a major character to show up there. I'm also still expecting to see the Golden Company because they were mentioned so much this past season. But my second reason is that we can't see Euron flee. He may betray Cersei, sure, but I'm thinking that he's not going to want to miss out on the fun, so to speak. I think he liked being scared of the White. It was probably an emotion that he enjoyed. And he strikes me as the type of character who would want to show off his fighting skills, instead of running away just to be safe. So I'm thinking that he may still bring back the Golden Company to Westeros, but he may also leave Cersei to go fight the dead willingly, with or without the Golden Company. He may still be after Daenerys, the one queen that he originally wanted. Things with Cersei, Euron, and the Golden Company can still happen differently though, but I'll talk about that later. We also know that Cersei isn't doing very well now that she's let Jaime go. Not only because she has less people to trust around her, but also because Jaime might reveal her secrets. He may not have taken the Lannister army with him, but he still knows of Cersei's plans. And if he does make it all the way to Winterfell, he's going to have to explain why he's there. And that would be the time to reveal everything. Now, it would also make sense if no one believes him though, because no one really has any reason to. He's still known as the Kingslayer. Of course, we now have Bran, someone who could look into anyone's past to see if they're lying or not. But will Bran want to help Jaime after he pushed him out the window? Okay, Bran may be at a point where he doesn't care about that event anymore. But Jaime still hurt the Starks in other ways, so things are not looking very good for Jaime here. Except that there is one other person who could really make a difference in this situation. Brienne, of course, Brienne. I think she will definitely become important once again in Jaime's storyline. She may be the woman whose arms Jaime dies in, but yeah, she could vouch for him, and hopefully that works. But this is all assuming that Jaime does make it to Winterfell. Cersei could have sent an assassin after him. And when I was thinking about that, I immediately remembered Bronn, and thought, what if we get all excited to see him catching up to Jaime, and then later on have our joy crushed when we realize that he's been sent to kill Jaime. Like maybe Cersei offered him something huge for it. I would love to see this happen, but at the same time I would love to see Bran finally have a change of heart and choose to keep Jaime alive over his own greed, right when he's about to do it. But then again, Cersei wouldn't be trusting Bran, I don't think, after he, according to her, betrayed Jaime. So this probably won't happen. She may still send someone after Jaime, but it probably won't be Bran. Unless logic is thrown out the window again, you know. Speaking of Winterfell though, it will be interesting to see what's going on there next season. Jon is finally coming back home, but he's coming back as a loyal follower of Daenerys. He's now the Warden of the North, a very different position than the one he left with. And this may rub the Northern Lords the wrong way, so I imagine there will be some conflict there as well. Sansa and Arya may not immediately get along with Dany either, but I think that just like it happened to Jon, Dany will end up proving her worth to everyone. Predicting the plan of attack for the Night King is one of the most difficult things to do, because it all depends on what the Night King's actual goal is, and we still don't know that. So if we don't know what he wants, how can we know where he will go? One thing does seem very possible though, and that is the Night King making it all the way down to King's Landing, because of how the Red Keep looked in Dany's vision. Not only destroyed, but also covered in snow. And what else could be the cause of that, if not this war that's coming? I will admit that Dany's visions are more symbolic and metaphorical than literal. But there is one more thing to remember. Bran's vision, where he sees a dragon flying over King's Landing. And Bran's visions are definitely not symbolic or metaphorical. What you see is what you get. The thing about Bran's visions is that you never know if they're from the future or the past. And now that him and Sam are going to be working together, it's likely that they will keep doing similar things to what we saw them do last season, when Sam helped Bran confirm the secret wedding. It's very likely that they continue to look into the past for answers, and maybe this scene has to do with that. With all of that being said, no one wants to see the Night King staying in the north after we spent 7 seasons waiting for him to get past the wall. They must show the Night King come south, at least as far as the God's Eye. So my point here is that it's possible that he doesn't spend a lot of time attacking Winterfell, if at all. He could just come straight down and completely ignore the castle. That would be an interesting twist, in my opinion. Especially because I think that if the Night King wanted to attack Winterfell first, he would destroy it. Nothing would stop the Night King. And yes, I've heard the theories about there being magic in Winterfell's walls and stuff, but I'd rather see the Night King showing no interest in Winterfell and just walking past it. That would mess up everyone's plans. Cersei would be f***ed. That is definitely not what she's expecting.
The dead will come north first. Enjoy dealing with them. We will deal with whatever is left of you.
And then everyone in the north would have to make a decision based on their morals. Do they try to protect Cersei and her army? Or do they just let her die because she'd be a problem if left alive? Of course they have to deal with the dead still, but they can just let Cersei die first, on purpose. I feel like this would affect Jon and Dany's relationship because I can definitely see Jon being the one who wants to try and save Cersei because it's the right thing to do, and I can see Dany saying, let's let her die. Hell, Sansa, Arya, the Northern Lords, all of them would be on Dany's side. But there's 2 other characters who would be deeply affected by this too. Tyrion and Jaime. Jaime wants to honor his pledge to ride north, but deep down inside he's just trying to do the right thing and not let everyone in the north die without helping them. By this logic, if Cersei was the one in danger, he would have to help her too. Or he would at least do it for his unborn baby. And Tyrion would get caught up in that as well, depending on what arrangement he made with her. I don't know, this is a very specific prediction which makes it less likely to happen, but I would love to see all of that play out. Oh, and remember when I said, things with Cersei, Euron, and the Golden Company can still happen differently though, but I'll talk about that later. I was thinking that there's a possibility that Euron is late bringing the Golden Company, and that by the time that he does make it back, Cersei is already dead. So we wouldn't have to see Euron necessarily betray Cersei if that is the case. Things can happen in many different ways, and things go wrong all the time. But yeah, let's assume that the Night King's army does make it all the way down to King's Landing. The next question would be, how do they fight them? We, the viewers, already know that all they need to do is kill the Night King, and then all the whites will drop dead on the ground. But first, for as long as they're trying to do that, they still have to deal with the whites. And second, this information about killing the Night King to stop the Whites wasn't communicated to Cersei. So how would she know? This is where I will mention again that prediction I made 2 videos ago, where I said that it was possible for someone to come up with a plan to lure a huge group of Whites into an enclosed area and then blow them all up with either wildfire, pitch, or dragonfire. In that video, I showed all of the scenes that could be acting as potential setup or foreshadowing for this event. You can check it out here. Up there somewhere. And that is the event that was apparently in the leaked plot, with some slight changes. This doesn't mean that it will happen or not though, since the plot was proven to be fake. But I'm still sticking to this prediction because it makes sense to me. With the ridiculous amount of Whites that they will have to deal with, they will need to get rid of as many as possible as quickly as possible. And a big explosion seems like a no-brainer to me. Especially because explosions are not uncommon in this show. So those were my general broader plot predictions, without getting into too much detail. Also, there's a possibility for another character prediction series in collaboration with Smokescreen like we did for Season 6. So yeah, that may happen. And that's it for now. Leave a like if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one. Go check out my gaming channel, guys. I've been uploading gaming videos over there. I'm trying to finish the Telltale Game of Thrones game right now. It's on fire. On fire. What is that? Fluff. She also gave him funding to start to build a new sheep. A new sheep. She also gave him funding to build a new sheep. Yeah.